It's the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 378. And you know we're keeping it great. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Tonight, we have a very, very illustrious guest. Someone taking the world of professional wrestling by storm. But he's a day one Flex Zone family member. And we'll get to him at the top. Of course, we got to recap the Rumble that was. And of course, recap the AFC and NFC championship games and look forward to Super Bowl in 2 weeks. The Flex Zone Podcast, you guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. Vote on our poll as well. Episode 378 coming to you live as well. We talk NBA All-Star starters announced as well. Beating up the competition worse than the bloodline beat up the honorary Sami Zayn. It is the Flex Zone Podcast, fellas. Only place giving you sports how you want it
when you need it.
As we mentioned, episode 378. You guys know the drill. The FlexZone1 at gmail.com. The FlexZone1 Twitter and Instagram. FlexZone Podcast on that TikTok. Check out the Fanatics link down below as well. Episode 378. NBA All-Star starters announced. We recap the Rumble, and of course, we recap those AFC, NFC championship games and look forward to the NFL's crowning moment, which is the Super Bowl. You guys know, can't do the show alone. God's favorite host. Make sure you throw your ones up and acknowledge us. Toss it to my brother Big Raj, a social media producer. Let the people know what to do if they're watching us right now, Raj.
Man, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Check out our videos on the channel. Plenty to talk about. Ravens content, wrestling. Commanders content is on there as well. Soon baseball content with Orioles is coming. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like button, check out the channel. Let us know your thoughts.
Next man is Tribal. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, that's it.
Next man is the Tribal Chief, head of the table, pride of the East Side, savior of misbehavior, the dean of Balsall Hall University, the professor, the honorable, illustrious, the A-lister, the man more phenomenal than AJ Styles, the man who doesn't have to come in at number 30 to win the Royal Rumble, and he is the Iron Man. He is a super producer. My brother, the man himself. He rides in a big red machine and tells him to take a ride on Space Mountain. Drizzy, Dre, Mr. I might pull up at your spot at any time.
What's good, Byron? What's good, Flex Zone family? Looking forward to tonight's episode. It's a lot to get into, so let's get right to work.
If you guys are looking for Cravante, he may be in the air, currently traveling back from the West Coast, so safe travels to our brother. We will definitely include the goofiness throughout, but shout out to Cravante and I. Wonderful video doing good numbers on the channel for the Commanders, and we salute him for that. More Commanders content coming soon. But we have another day oneer. Last week we had Ralph. The heavy hitters continue. This next man is one half of the tag team champions of the IWC. You can check him out. What's that, Wednesday night, Raj? After AEW? Get your wrestling realm fixed live on the YouTube channel.
Oh, let me before you do the whole spill, man. I just want to say, man, this is probably one of the best channels, that you can watch if you want to watch wrestling. They got awesome content, man. They got a lot of things going on. Dwayne is awesome. Hugh is awesome. Brian, who's coming on the show in a minute, is awesome. I enjoy these brothers. I mean, I love them, man. They're awesome. They're great.
He is the number one heel in the industry. More popular than the Yes Movement. That's right. He gets more heat than MJF walking down the street or walking into your arena. He is, as I said, one half of the tag team of the wrestling realm. You can catch him out. Check him out Wednesdays at around 10:30 after AEW. They recap all the wrestling news throughout the week. Make sure you subscribe to them as well. The man who's been with us since day one and says when the Flex Zone calls, he's going to answer even when he's tired. And he produces some of your favorite wrestling podcasts as well. Let's bring him back. He's here. He's here yet again. Back to the Flex Zone podcast. Brian H. Waters.
What's going on?
Hey.
We gotta make sure. Look. Wednesdays is for wrestling. It's an all day thing now, Byron. It's an all day thing now. It starts Wednesday morning with Wednesday Worldwide, brought to you by the Ringer with my brothers Cal and Ben, and then on 7 o'clock I go into the club. I go to Those Wrestling Girls TWG fan club, Queen PR, with the one and only Miss Ciandall with the Justin Rich. And then at night, in the main event of the evening, we close it out with the Wrestling Realm Now podcast with me, Dwayne, and brother Hugh.
Hey, well, look, look. Let me just say this, Tribal Chief. I acknowledge you. And I brought the glove out for you, bro.
Oh, you got the glove. You got the glove. You know, it's funny. I actually almost got one of those.
I have both of them, the red one and the gold one.
Dope. I was this close. I was at the Royal Rumble store. Y'all can check out the Wrestling Realms Patreon. I, show a little bit of what was in there, but I almost caught one, but still.
Hey, look,
weak.
Tribal Chief, we gotta get you one.
Well, let's just say we might be having a party soon. We'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
Well, speaking of party, it was a party in San Antonio. You were down there.
Sir. Yeah.
Overall, how was your experience at the Royal Rumble, and your thoughts as we look at the show that was, and your thoughts on the Rumble matches and that tear-jerking ending?
Oh, it was phenomenal. So first Royal Rumble, and I was blessed to be able to be in the press box and in the crowd. One of my buddies, shout out to my boy Marcus Garcia, who we worked together at the Four Letter. First time seeing him in over 8 years, and he told me he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna section in." So I got down there on the floor. I watched the women's Royal Rumble from the floor, and shout out to Emilio Sparks of the Wrestle Rap podcast. Got a chance to chill with him and Tavia. If y'all remember, shout out to Tavia from WWE. MVP tweeted about the whole bring back all the black people. He said, "Yeah, let's throw Tavia for community relations." But first time seeing her since SummerSlam. Actually, Battle Club Pro. Those Wrestling Girls fourth anniversary party. So it's always a reunion when you get to these wrestling shows, no matter which city, which state you're in. Got to see my guy James from he's from New York, so got to see him. Hung out with Queen PR of those Wrestling Girls. We got to do some fan club content, so there's a lot going on, and it was real dope to be there. I have to say, when you at a show, it's always different, but it's nothing like the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania is WrestleMania. This is my favorite show. It's WrestleMania, but the Royal Rumble, being in the crowd when the countdown, you on the edge of your seat. Now where I was sitting, I couldn't really see the wrestlers until they came around the bend. Like if you see on my stories, you'll see like couldn't really see till they actually got all the way around. But you're looking for like the spotlight for them to put it on there. But you could obviously hear you're looking at the Titan. The video screens, and so that was cool. The Pitch Black match was actually, it is what it is. Y'all brand, y'all understand sponsorships, but I felt like they made the most of it.
Hey, I'll drink that Mountain Dew Pitch Black if they want to sponsor us, just like Cody did. You see Cody up there drinking it?
Yeah. Well, so I was mad because I ain't gonna say mad. Let me make sure I say this right. They didn't call on me because I had a question for Bray, and that was going to be my question. I had was talking to my producer at the Ringer. Shout out to Ben Cruz, my co-host on Wednesday Worldwide, and I was like, "Hey, I said I'm gonna ask Bray how does it taste." And he was like, I was going to ask you to say that to him. How does the Pitch Black taste? But, he was in and out so I didn't get a chance to ask him. And then they didn't call me for Cody. But I missed the moment of the chair shot heard around the world. I wasn't in the arena for that because we had to go to the press box by the main event so that as soon as the bell rang, we was walking downstairs to get to the press area. But what was cool was everybody was in there watching it. So, us, Sean Ross Sapp, Ryan Satin, we all in there, like everybody's glued to their phones. And you heard this like collective, And here's what I'll say about wrestling press boxes versus NBA, NFL, MLB. One, you're not supposed to cheer in the sports press box, right? You can't because, it's not good etiquette.
Remember those days, Brian.
Yeah, well, so you can't cheer. But and then also, and Byron, you can understand, like when we was out there in Camden Yards, we're Oriole fans, diehard Oriole fans. But everybody there wasn't Oriole fans. You know what I mean? There's some people who, okay, this is the team they was assigned or whatever. Where in a wrestling media setting, everybody's a wrestling fan. They may cover it differently. They may try to pick it apart differently, but overall, everybody enjoys professional wrestling. So that was cool. But overall, I thought the Royal Rumble was great. Obviously I'm going to be looking at it with biased eyes. I know that. I know we talked about lack of surprises. I've never been one, and I guess because a lot of my favorite Rumbles are during the Attitude Era, right? And when you look at it, there weren't any surprises that was coming out back then. I think 2001 you had Kurt Hennig with Mr. Perfect, or he was 2002. But other than that, you really didn't have surprises. So when people, it was just using the roster. So that's what I was happy about. I thought, Gunther became a huge star in a loss. I love the spot with Logan Paul and Ricochet. I thought that was real cool. The Royal Rumble's, was usually built for people like them. And Cody coming out at 30, I guess because of the, his his injury, and then felt like a few times Walter was about to break the pec again, because you can hear those smacks throughout the world. And I love the fact they opened up with the men's Rumble too. But I'll tell you this, after it was like, man, wait, we still got more matches to go, because it's like a long match though.
Well, let me ask you then. You talked about the chair shot heard around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Would you argue that this bloodline storyline with Sami Zayn, we haven't seen anything of this magnitude to capture an audience since Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, and I would even say it's better. The whole bloodline, and I go back because of the longevity of it. You was able to just get invested and just enjoy it, right? The Daniel Bryan storyline, when you really go back and look at it, and Raj can tell you, it really had a lot of people torn, because you had the people that loved Daniel Bryan, then you had the people who couldn't stand him or didn't understand the hype, I should say. So it had a lot of people torn. And then it was also like, if I listened to his audiobook, and he wasn't even supposed to be in that place. But this story right here starts in September 2020 with Jey Uso. And Jey Uso has been, Roman was going to get over, Jey Uso got over. And the one thing that the Usos, and the reason why they are my greatest tag team, the one thing that they have been able to do that nobody else has been able to, that typically twins in professional wrestling can't do, is establish an identity. Shoot, most of the time brothers can't establish a different identity. If you ask anybody, they can tell you which one is the difference between Jay and Jimmy. You couldn't do that all the time. Unless you're a diehard wrestling fan or AEW fan, can you really tell the difference between Matt and Nick? Not the way you can with Jeff and Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. And then you can obviously teams like Jacob and Eli Blue, just different tag teams. You really couldn't tell the difference. But with the Usos now, they have established an individuality, and again, that's not easy to do. And like Jay told Rosenberg a few years ago, that his goal before he hangs up the Air Forces is he wants to face his twin at WrestleMania. This could be, we don't know where this is going to go. We could get there. Now, what I do know, and I'll close out my point with this, Roman Reigns told Jonathan Snowden of The Ringer that we're just in the second quarter of this bloodline story. He said they got so much range with this. So that's what's going to be interesting to see. I'll say this right now, January 30th, I personally don't want to see Cody take both titles from Roman. Even if he takes the WWE Championship, that's fine. I don't want to see Roman lose the Universal Championship no time soon. In fact, I would love to see him pass Hogan. I don't know if that will happen, but I would love to see him hit the 1,000-day mark, which he's going to hit 1,000 days, because WrestleMania is over 61 days away. So he'll hit 1,000 days, but I would like to see him go further.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because they said the closest one that Roman's at, he's at 846 days or something like that. He's Pedro Morales is at 1,027 days. Bruno Sammartino 1,237 days, and Hulk Hogan at 1,474 days. So it's very possible, but the Bob Backlunds, nobody's catching up to them. That's 2,000 mark.
Yeah.
But which one of those marks do you think that he'll reach? Because right now he would be at 6. He's just a few days from passing Pedro.
Honestly, I don't think he's going to pass him. Wait, what's Pedro? He's 12.
Pedro's at 1,027 days.
Oh, he'll pass Pedro. That's the only one.
But Bruno Sammartino would be up next at 1,237, and then Hulk Hogan at 1,474.
Yeah, unless there's a way where The Rock makes his comeback, because then I think there's the opportunity to split the titles. And Cody's interest is looking real WCW with the lights, with the way the lights was from that distance. But I just don't see him passing. I could be wrong. I just don't see him passing 1,200 days. I think he will lose it at WrestleMania. I think they want to get that moment, but man, you look, I forgot who the guy was, but he asked Triple H about the Rock status, and Triple H, I don't know if y'all saw it, but his comment was, y'all keep telling us, he's like, y'all telling me he ain't ready. I refuse to believe that. Maybe I'm just in denial. I just don't want to believe that the Rock, I know you got ring shape is different, but the words Rock and out of shape don't even sound right.
Yeah. I was, when watching the press conference, it did seem like there's a possibility. Last week we had Ralph on, and he said that either Rock would be at Royal Rumble or he would be at WrestleMania. Before I toss it to either Raj or Byron, I want to ask. So if Rock comes back, do you see a one-on-one match between him and Roman Reigns, or do you see a split of kind of the bloodline where it's Jimmy, Solo, and Roman versus Jimmy versus Jay, Rock, and maybe Sami Zayn?
Oh no, it's definitely Rock and Roman. It's no other way. It's going to be Rock and Roman if he comes back. If anything, it'll be a day 1, day 2 thing. I'm not sure which day he'll be on. I would think maybe night 2, I should say. But either way, it's definitely Rock and Roman. Cody is very intentional about wanting the WWE Championship. It's not that he wants the Universal Championship. He wants the WWE Championship because the championship that his father never had. So even if there was a World Championship around, that wouldn't mean nothing. I ain't gonna say it wouldn't mean nothing to him, but it's also the reason why he chose not to go after the AEW Championship. He's intentional about the WWE Championship.
Real quick, Brian, before we switch to Ravens, and I got to get the Lakers in there real quick. How are you liking this Daniel Bryan MJF feud? They're going to have a 1-hour Iron Man match. I mean, just take my money.
It's going to be interesting to see because Bryan's going to carry the match. We know that, right? It's not that MJF can't wrestle. He's just figured out how not to have to do it. So, but to go an hour, personally, I've been saying this from day one. I'd swerve everybody and have him, Bryan, win the belt. I think the AEW title could use him, but I also understand like you trying to establish MJF. He would have had the title since November, so that's fine. He doesn't need a 8-month title reign the first time, even if it's a quick, 1-month reign for Bryan Danielson. I'm fine with that, but I would definitely have him win the championship.
Let's go ahead, Raj. You want to get in there with some Raven stuff?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, before I get with the Raven stuff, what do you think about Nia Jax coming back?
I personally think there's a place for Nia Jax in the WWE. It's not too many plus size women, and when she's a baby face, she helps empower other people. I don't want to just say women, but because she can help empower men. But when she's a heel, she's funny. She's good at it. Funny story. Last year, so my first on-site job was Survivor Series 2021. And if y'all remember, this is right after Charlotte and Nia had that back and forth in the ring. And we asked Charlotte about that. And she was like, oh, no, me and Nia are cool. She said, I like poking her buttons and just, but she said, we're cool. And she said, I'll call her right now. So I think there's some matchups there that, imagine a Nia Jackson, Bianca Belair, and Nia
Mm.
Jackson, Rhea Ripley. Then you got the Damage Control. You could put her with them, and she be their enforcer. So I definitely think there's a role, a spot for her there. And I was happy to see she came back. She's not like most girls.
She's
So
definitely go ahead, Drake.
well, I was going to ask, since Nia Jax is back, and you're saying we're only in quarter 2 right now of the Bloodline storyline, do you see her and then possibly like Naomi inserting themselves into the Bloodline storyline, expanding it with the women?
Not sure if I really see Naomi in the Bloodline. I would like it, but then again, it's like Naomi's just such a great baby face. And sometimes it hurts her, but she's such a great baby face. She loves to be cheered. She loves for the fans to love her. So, but it would be interesting to see them expand to the women and take over. But right now, I mean, they got problems. You got Sami Zayn, you got him, turning on him, but did he really want to? That's the one thing that people, everybody see what he did, but like he maybe he just felt obligated because he knows Kevin Owens' children and he knows his family, so he didn't want to see him go out like that. But Roman and them not trying to hear that. Then you got Jey Uso who felt betrayed, so now he's upset. They got a lot of issues, and they need to get that stuff situated so they can go back to dominating. You could have a Solo and a Gunther for the IC championship. You could have, women and take over, but right now they got to get everything situated at home.
You gotta say it right. It's Gunther.
That's the Waynes. That's the real Dwayne Allens. That's gimmick infringement.
So how was that pop though being there when that happened? Because I know you said you weren't there. You were headed to the press conference.
Yeah, so
could you hear it though?
I could hear it like through the walls.
Oh, cool.
And you could kind of, it was like vague, but you could kind of hear it. Now, obviously, you sitting there and you like literally there's sections of people, everybody doing this, looking at their phones. There's like who's picking their phone, and then you got this person over there, and now everybody's like crowding, looking at somebody's phone. Then you got the phones that's ahead, like mine was one that's behind, and we was like, what happened? Thankfully, people ain't ruin it. But if you just heard in the press room, you heard this collective wow, because you didn't, but then you kind of did see it coming. I've been in denial. I wanted to see this thing go on for a while into the summer, but it's just a beautiful story. Somebody even, I think Kaz was saying earlier, like the best story in pro wrestling. I mean, probably since Undertaker and Kane, since the Mega Powers explode. There's been some hot angles, but to have this story, not this time, but like in December, when my sister was doing my hair, I showed her the Survivor Series and everything that happened there. Then I said, let me go and take you back. So we went to like one of them YouTube playlists, and she saw the buildup. Now she watched doing the Attitude Era, so she's familiar with the Anawai family, but to see like everything, and then like when you go back and see that, even knowing everything that we know now, but back then when we watched Roman and Jey, everybody was talking about, man, I was crying. Like people talk about the Night of Champions match, but it was the Hell in a Cell match that was like crazy. So, watching that and watching that again, it's like, yo, this is some good stuff. And then Jimmy comes in, and Jimmy takes a while to align with Roman. He's like, man, we ain't got to, I ain't nobody's. I don't know. I was personal here.
No, go ahead.
But you know what he said, So he had that shirt, and then after he had that shirt, then it's like finally, and Roman's sitting up there when they get out of line, he hitting them with chairs. Like, and you would think Roman's 10 years older than them. No, he's like a month or two or 3 months. And,
wow, I didn't know that part.
And I compared it to me and my cousins, even though I'm younger than them, but they know I would be the tribal chief.
That you the tribal chief.
Yeah, I'm the tribal chief, and they the twins, But like you see, like Roman talk about this responsibility, and you saw all that, but then the facial expressions that we saw Saturday,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people said that, like Cass said this earlier, he was glad he wasn't at the Royal Rumble because of so much he would have missed. So I always try to watch pay-per-views somewhat immediately after I go. I had to watch that play out. Like I went back and I was watching it on the phone in the post Rumble celebration. You know, because I wanted to see how the commentary and to see the, you know, because Roman he talks to the microphone, and he said that's another dimension to his character. And just think when, you know, when y'all started this podcast, who liked Roman Reigns?
I liked him. Okay, well let me preface this. I liked him, and I know Dwayne couldn't stand him, but he couldn't stand Roman Reigns, and I was like this, but I liked him,
right?
And I thought he could go somewhere if he turned heel. I said that for the longest time. I was like, hey, turn him heel, he can do something. So they finally turned him heel, and he is doing great.
And Paul Heyman will tell you,
great.
He said the Roman Reigns of those years couldn't have worked as a heel because he didn't have no dirt on his face yet, you know.
True.
And you think about, he had to like go through all of this to get to where he is now. But overall, I mean, like I said, just like when he got hit with that chair, I said this earlier on The Masked Man. I'm like, he need to stop walking in front of people with chairs. The same thing happened with Seth Rollins, and Roman had like PTSD. You know.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad.
Well, let's bring in. We got a special guest, Dre. Hold on, we got a special guest. One of Brian's illustrious members of the wrestling realm.
Our brother has to be.
Yes, the man who gets all the angles. Hugh,
brother Hugh in the building.
With the shades on. With the shades on.
Got the shades on.
My brother.
Huey's in the building.
What?
Cool.
Mr. Cool himself.
What's going on, brother Hugh?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. How you feeling?
Man, that's Mr. Cool himself right there.
Right?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, the numbers just went through the roof because you stepped in the building.
That's right, man. I had to come on here, jump in, jump out real quick on some double Dutch type mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, brother. How you feeling?
It's always a pleasure having you on.
Good to see you, brother.
Did you enjoy the Rumble?
Give me a second. I can't hear y'all. Hold
on.
It's all good.
I apologize.
No, you good? You good?
We'll bring you out and bring you back in. Brian, let's talk about the Ravens real quick. Let's get to the Ravens.
Let me ask because I heard him say this maybe a couple weeks ago. And I was perplexed, but I understand and I get it.
I'm glad you do.
I do. I trust me because I'm on the fence as well. So, but I'm not going to jump off the cliff just yet. But you already know the type of season we had. Lamar Jackson is in his last year of his contract. We haven't re-signed him yet. We went 10-7, made the playoffs, lost to the Bengals in the wild card round 2 weeks ago.
Thankfully.
Yeah, well, thankfully, of course. And thankfully the Bengals lost yesterday, but that's neither.
Hey! Look! I lost $50. All right,
that's your fault,
right?
But anyways, Brian, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on this Lamar Jackson contract situation with the Ravens? Do you think he returns as a Baltimore Raven? And overall, what is your thoughts on this season?
Overall, I think they get it done. I think they don't want to be. The Ravens have been known to be like one of the best organizations. Right now, they need a new training staff. I heard what Derek Wolf said about how strenuous the strength and conditioning is, but that's a different story. But overall, as an organization, people love to come here. I remember, shout out the young man Mo, rest in peace. But when I was working at Johns Hopkins in media relations, I was downtown when he announced that the Ravens was drafting Ben Powers, and I got a chance to talk to Nakamura, and he was saying Like, yeah, he played at Carolina, but man, when they say Raven for life, it's Raven for life. So I would not want. I don't think they would want to tarnish that reputation. This should have been done. I mean, let's be real. When Lamar had that MVP season, you should have re-signed him then, because it wasn't a fluke to do it with those like that. Like I went to play Madden from that year or something. Or I was probably watching a video. I'm like, those wide receivers wasn't like great. It worked in the system, but he hasn't had that weapon that we want to see him have. But I think they get it done overall this season. Too many injuries, and a lot of bad play calling, in my opinion. And I'm never played. I never, call plays except on Madden. But when you got John Harbaugh saying stuff like, and I understand you got to defend your guys, but when you saying stuff like bar talk and stuff like that, it's like, dude, come on. Now, I think that Bashotti told him like, look, it's time to part ways with Greg Roman. That was something everybody wanted to see. The fact that it is refreshing when they said Lamar will, have some input on the OC. So I think that happens. But yeah, I'm dead serious. And I never felt this way about a player for any of like the local teams, right? Like, and I think because like with Adam Jones, was like, okay, he's past his prime. Respect what he did. Yeah, would have wanted them to keep him, but you kind of understand, right? When Ray Lewis was the chit chat in 2008 that he may go somewhere else, it was like, all right, well, we got a Super Bowl. But like Lamar Jackson has come in, embraced the city, doesn't act like he's a superstar. You know what I mean? You can find this dude probably at your local chicken box place, So to see somebody embrace the city, and then when I see other fan bases wish they had a quarterback like him, it's ridiculous. So, either two things going to happen. If they don't sign him, I'm either going where Lamar goes or I'm going back to the Cowboys.
Oh,
At least I know the history. I got like I have I still get chills when I watch the same Super Bowls that they keep talking about. Their fan base keep talking about. I still get the same chills from those Super Bowls that I do when I watch the Ravens 2000 and the Ravens 2012 Super Bowl.
This man he a fake Baltimore Ravens fan.
Hey, whoa.
Rashawn, we got to get you on the show, brother.
Hey.
Come on and flex on, brother.
Well,
Can I ask you about
yeah,
the travel
you,
contract?
Rashad, yes. And look. I ain't gonna go as far as Ryan, but I'll admit that if they were to lose Lamar, it would be a devastating blow. I didn't show y'all in the chat, but I should have. I'll show y'all the video. I'll show y'all the video of where I was at yesterday. I was at the Eagles bar, and the Eagles, they said I can hop back on. I was like, nah, we sticking to Big Trust over here.
Right.
We got Big Trust. They'll get it done.
Yes.
We need Joe Flacco back.
Is this, what I wish Lamar would do? You didn't even like Flacco in the trial.
Hell no.
I wish Lamar would sign Nicole Lynn. Sign Nicole Lynn. That's all.
Oh, the new agent. That's what Jalen Hurts.
Well, she ain't new, but yeah.
Well,
that would be dope, though.
Yeah, like or a black woman,
Just hire her to get a contract done. You ain't got to keep after. It's called litigation, people.
Look, I tell you this, she's gonna get Jalen Hurts paid.
That's what I've been saying. I said Lamar has to play ball with the Ravens. He's not getting a fully guaranteed contract.
The thing is, like, it's. I understand it's cute for people to say, "Oh, represent yourself" and whatnot. When we was at NABJ, it was David Aldridge who was transparent about the reason he has an agent, and during like one of the agent things, it said like, "Look, I think it was David Aldridge. If it wasn't, forgive me." But basically saying like, I don't want to hear about my performance from my bosses. Those conversations get ugly. Now, the real Dwayne Allen always brings up Sean Bradley said he didn't mind being told he sucked because his defense was, I'm 7'6", and where else you gonna find somebody that's gonna block like me? I'll get dunked on, I'll be a poster, but you're gonna pay me because I can block. So if you don't mind that, but that's what happened with Ed Reed. Reportedly, let me make sure I say that. Reportedly, his feelings was hurting. He was out of Baltimore. I mean, we don't want to see that happen with Lamar.
But if he is able to pull this off, do you see this as a trailblazing opportunity for others?
For as far as being his own agent and getting a big
and
contract.
getting this max of a deal, because we, like you said, we've seen players represent themselves before.
Yeah.
Just like Roquan, he just got that $100 million contract. But do you see this like Lamar making being a trendsetter? Because this would be the biggest payday for somebody if they represent themselves and
Yeah,
they
I
get
think
it.
so,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think that might be scary for the NFL and the agent association or whatever, just on the strength of it's like, wait a minute, what if they don't need us? So that's why I think maybe they would prevent it from happening. I think it'd be a lot of backdoor deals and handshakes to try to prevent that from happening.
I hear you, Rashawn. We know you're a Ravens and Cowboys fan, but
Rashawn, I completely agree with you.
How does that
I
happen?
understand, but guess what? This is my thing. I pay my time and sometimes money into merchandise. So I have a right to choose who I want to invest that in. So if the Ravens don't do right by me, then I'm going to take my dollars and cents elsewhere. It's just that simple.
He's shaking his head.
Hey man, Jack Daddy, did you sip on some of that pitch black earlier? That what that is, man.
Nah, I had a coffee from a
God
Wrestling
damn.
Realm mug, which you can get from WrestlingRealm.com, soon to be up soon.
Hey,
Nah,
Rashawn, let us know
man.
your info so we can get you on the show, brother. We're doing our sports and blackness. We need you on, brother.
definitely need you on. You travel everywhere, like
Yes,
literally
man.
everywhere.
Let us know. Drop your info or something. Let us know. Hugh, I gotta ask you about the O's, baby, while we got
What's
you
up?
here, brother.
What's going on? Let's get it.
Is it finally lift off? Is it finally lift off? Is this the year we get it done? I'm ready to sprinkle some money that they win the AL East. How you feel?
Not quite yet.
Ooh,
Not quite yet. I'm gonna be real
Not
with
quite.
you.
Not quite.
You know I'm 100% real when it comes to my Baltimore Orioles.
Yes, sir.
You know, nah, not yet. I'll give you, let's say, one more year.
Okay.
Do they at
They
least
got
make
it.
playoffs though?
They'll make a legitimate push for the wild card. Let's put it
Okay.
that way, like they did last year. They need like 2 or 3 consecutive seasons or winning seasons where they're actually contending to be in the playoffs before they can start drawing in like your free agents. Get bigger and better names here in Baltimore. They need to make. We need to take care of home first. We need to find out if we're moving to Nashville.
We're not.
No,
Hey,
No.
I
I
know
don't think
that,
so.
but let's be realistic. With the Angeloses, they're still bickering back and forth. We need to figure out what's going on with that first before we can go ahead and make moves. Because I feel like something like that is actually holding up Mike Elias.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
And the lease ends this year.
Right.
And I'm hearing that they're not going to be
Actually,
cheap anymore right now.
actually, the lease they have to sign by Wednesday.
Ooh, by
shoot.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
That would
They
be
have-
heartbreaking if the
I
Orioles.
know the
leave.
Ravens. I know the Ravens signed their lease. I think
they have to
last
sign by.
week.
They have like a There's a clause where they can, if they sign by Wednesday, they get an extra 5 years.
Right, extra
Okay.
5 years.
Right.
Yep.
But if they don't, I guess it's just up for renegotiation. So I mean, but no. Overall,
They
the
fumble that,
O's.
I'm ready to go off. It might be a rant coming on Wednesday to look forward. If they
I
they
put
get
on a
goofy.
Yankee fitted. All
Yeah,
rise.
see this dude, bro.
Hey,
Hey,
come
I
on,
like
bro.
Aaron Judge. I'm gonna be with Dre. Me and Dre gonna be. Look, we gonna be sipping on World Series champagne while
I
y'all.
guess
Yes, sir.
I'm
Well,
gonna be the only.
where the Orioles gonna be what the Nashville
the
Night of.
Nashville Orioles.
Look, as much as we make fun of that, but I mean, I think our city really needs the Orioles.
do.
Just as much as we need the Ravens, I feel like we need the Orioles. And you could argue, the city is different when the Ravens win, but when the Orioles were winning,
Oh my
I
gosh, it's
mean,
crazy.
I just think that this is a baseball town. At that point, that convinced me.
Talk about it.
And I agree with you. I agree with you because I as a growing up in the 90s, it was always a good time with the Orioles. I'm not going to front. The late 90s was great. Not so much in the 2000s though. But I mean, when
they went to
they had
sleep.
they had their times when they played really well, like last year, when you didn't expect anything and they just was whooping teams left and right. So when the Orioles is competitive and they're putting their stuff together, it's always a fun thing to watch or go to.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stick around. Hopefully they get that lease done. They need to stop playing with the fan base, and put a product out there that's going to continue to have success.
The family got to come together on that, man.
That's it. That's the issue. That, and like, we have so many good players in the farm system right now. We just waiting on them to develop to the point where we could put them up on in the majors. We do have to clean out some space because that's a beautiful problem to have. But we have a lot of players that play the same position that are very good, that are in the top 100 prospect list. You see what I'm saying? So we are going to have to like move some things around, maybe trade some people, bring in some all-stars or whatnot to kind of like make that perfect mix. But I would say 1 or 2 more years. 1 or 2 more years. We just need that little bit of time. The whole team is young. They're all learning. Hey, I'm excited. I'm really excited because I got to see most of these guys come up through the system, from Delmarva to Bowie to Norfolk to the league. I've met these guys, talked to these guys, and I'm just really excited to kind of see them.
They patted you on your head, yo.
Yeah. One patted me on the butt too, bro.
Who y'all got in the Super Bowl?
Well,
Who y'all got in the Super Bowl?
Before you do that, Hugh, what are your thoughts on Rumble, real quick, man? I know you watched it. I know you.
Oh yeah, I watched it. Well, I had to watch it twice because at first I was like, "What the hell is this?" All of it.
I feel you, Hugh. Until the ending, it was mediocre.
Yeah. I forgot about the ending, but yeah. Besides, like,
I'll say that.
I was expecting more surprises in the Royal Rumble matches. This was the first reaction. The Mountain Dew match, it was cool for what it was. I didn't understand why Howdy jumped off like that, but okay.
That was my bathroom. Like, I went to the bathroom and the match was over. But by the time I got back out, I saw them like doing all this stuff, and I saw Howdy jump. But I was like, I don't think he hit him.
No, he didn't.
No, he missed it. He completely missed him.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. The Bianca match that shouldn't even been on the daggone card.
I agree with you.
That was straight up like maybe a kickoff show.
Yeah,
match. Definitely a Raw match. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just
no. It was, but that was that was the setup Alexa Bliss though. The fully do the turn.
Well, they could have set up the night, Brian.
Right, they could have did something better with that though. They could have did something better than that. They did that on Raw for the last 2 months.
Yeah, but you gotta have your women's champion on there. You had to have one of them.
I get that, Brian. I get that. But what I'm saying is they needed to do something a little bit better in my eyes. You see what I'm saying? Because we got that same package deal for the last 2-3 months in on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say nothing wrong about the Bloodline situation. Awesome, perfect.
Did you cry?
I did. I shed a tear.
You shed a tear?
I shed a tear when I was. Yeah, I did shed a tear because
you saw what happened when Roman said if you shed a tear, started slapping Sammy and everything.
Right.
No, I shed a tear because when I was at what was that? I was at the Green Turtle, right? So I was watching at the Green Turtle, and I was like, and then it was Jay's reaction. It was Jay's reaction.
Yeah, that's what did it for you, right?
That's what did it for me. I was like, this is perfect. This is what made it even perfect. He just didn't even do anything. He just left the ring. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and I think it was so perfect when Jay was the one to like hold back because he was the one who wasn't sold on Sammy. So then to see that was just like wow, like.
Yeah, I had to put a second set of eyes on it. You know what I'm saying? I had to look at it again. I was just like, all right, it makes sense. Take the fan hat off. Let's sit down and let's do some work. All right, cool. Yeah, it makes sense. Everything lined up perfectly.
So how would y'all book Mania? Would y'all make it a triple threat? Would y'all just let Cody take the belt? Would y'all have The Rock come out there and cost Roman maybe?
No, but see, then you got to set that up for Philly.
Yeah,
and I think it's better for Hollywood. I would personally I would do a 2-nighter. Roman defend both belts. A situation where Adam Pearce said, okay, you know what? You're going to wrestle both nights. You're going to defend one of them. And and because Cody won the Royal Rumble, he gets to choose which title. Therefore, Cody chooses the WWE Championship, then the Rock and Roman, and then I would have Jay kind of on the outs still, and you don't know what he's going to do. And then eventually Jay gets in line at WrestleMania, and you could even have him somewhat cost the Rock, and Roman reigns supreme over the Rock.
But where does the Sami Zayn story aspect of it go?
Oh, him and Kevin Owens teaming up. Sami Zayn is not
right. Yeah,
he's going against Roman at Elimination Chamber. He's gonna get his ass whooped. Then they're gonna go for the tag titles.
Right. It doesn't even make, if you be real, it makes more sense for them two to go against the Usos.
It does,
because you got to bring them two together, and they'll probably, they'll be the ones that dethrone the Usos.
Yeah,
that's what. Does. But is he big? But is he bigger than the Usos though?
That's another question I was going to ask, because I've heard rumblings, no pun intended, that if he was actually in the Royal Rumble and he didn't win, we could have had a Daniel Bryan situation.
That's why they made sure to address that earlier, because I ain't see the pre-show. I heard that Roman said like you're not even in the Rumble or whatever. I can't find it, but I gotta find it because I heard that's they made sure to prevent that. But I don't think Sammy even told Ariel Helwani this on BT Sport. He said he don't think that he was like in that situation of being over where the fans will overthrow current plans. Even if you did Sammy, I think if Sammy did go in the Rumble, it would have been interesting if say it was like Sammy and Cody in the end, and then you had like the bloodline out there cheering Sammy just in case, and then he still lose or something. But
well, let me get your and both of you guys thoughts on this, because we keep talking about Sami Zayn and we talking about Cody. Why not a triple threat, and why don't y'all think that Sammy could get over and be the one to defeat Roman as opposed to Cody?
Well, I don't think you would want a triple threat just for the simple fact that this is Cody's time to shine. That was the whole purpose of putting him in them, bringing him back the way they did, hyping him up the way they did. This is Cody's time to shine. So he needs that one-on-one match. You don't want to be overshadowed by it. No disrespect, Sami Zayn. You see what I'm saying? Cody is the next face of the company. You see what I'm saying? Sami Zayn, he can't be the face of the company. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. He can't. So that's what makes sense. That's what jumps out to me right off top. So it just has to be a one-on-one type thing in both situations.
I think even Sammy said that too in the Ariel Helwani video. What he told him that he could have the belt, but guys like but like Roman will always, guys like Roman, John Cena will always be like the face. He can hold the belt, but they will always be the face of it.
It's levels, baby. That they on that elite level. Sammy, he's like that mid tier to the top level. But nah,
are you trying to call him that CM Punk level?
CM Punk ain't in that level compared to me.
Sammy got a better chance of main event in WrestleMania than CM Punk.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
Don't worry, CM Punk will be back in AEW this year.
First. I doubt it. We'll see.
He'll come back as a heel. He's come back as a heel. Him and Kenny will be the main event at All Out or something.
Hey, look, you sure he may not come back to the E?
Hey man, they should have pulled the trigger on that.
Vince is back. Vince is back. He ain't come back.
They should have pulled the trigger on
that.
No,
actually, I would think that with Vince being there, he would more likely come back than with Triple H being in charge.
I don't think so.
Because Punk didn't mind Vince as much as he did Triple H. I thought he had a real issue with Triple H.
He did, but Triple H is the type of guy, from what I hear, that'll put all the differences aside, and he'll sit down and actually reason with you when it comes to business. You see what I'm saying? No grudges and nothing else. Let's get this business done. You said like Vince?
It was everybody else that had the issue. Like Bruno had the issue with Vince. It wasn't like Vince didn't want to talk to Bruno Sammartino. It's just that once Triple H got in that position, Bruno said, okay, well, I can listen to this guy. And that's how they was able to get him in the Hall of Fame and do all that stuff with him.
Oh wow.
But I think the issue that Punk and Triple H had, that's where you have the. But I think that would be Triple H's biggest test, because I think that's like probably his most mortal enemy, not mortal enemy, but like that was his thorn in his side. But everything he said was right in that promo.
Yeah, it could work. It could work itself out when it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins the Super Bowl, y'all? Before we get y'all out of here.
Oh my god!
I can't say what I want to say.
Sure, you
Let's
can.
just say I want Jalen Hurts to win.
Okay.
Because I want to see a quarterback like him win the Super Bowl.
Makes you give hope for Lamar in this offense.
Yeah, and I want to see, I like to see a guy like Jalen Hurts. Somebody who you feel like he would go to your HBCU. I'll leave it at that.
He is a Q, by the way. He is a Q. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
He is like you saw that with like that's what I was hoping for with Cam. Like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, they cool, but I want to see Jalen Hurts go out there and get it done. And like we mentioned about earlier, his agent, black woman, she's the first black woman to to have a client be a starting quarterback in the Super Bowl. Imagine how cool that would be. So but I do think the Eagles gonna win just on the strength that I don't think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs can be healthy enough to go against them. He put the team on his back, but he was home also, and that home adrenaline. And I always, I don't like the Bengals anyway. But overall, I think the Eagles get it done.
Oh, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I do not care. Hey, but to be, I mean, if the Ravens ain't in it, I ain't messing with it, honestly. But I'm gonna go with Philly just because I like cheesesteaks.
You messing with that Riri halftime performance? It's gonna be eyes glued. You gonna have the shades on for that one?
Oh, dang, I forgot about that.
You can't forget about that. Come on, man.
No,
Hey,
man,
look,
see,
for the record, we've been saying on the Flex Zone. I've been saying it for at least 4 or 5 years. Riri needs to be a halftime performance. So I need to check.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'll check in for that. But Jalen Hurts, yeah, it's time. It's time. I mean, it was the Eagles.
You said cheesesteaks though. I'm gonna do a quick plug real quick.
You good?
Go ahead, brother.
Because March 18th, March 18th, I'm going to Richfield, New Jersey for BCW.
Yes.
And they had a good cheesesteak.
Don't forget the garlic bread, bro.
They had garlic bread cheesesteak.
Really?
At this place. Yes.
Son.
Look, March 18th, y'all invited. Jay Bougie will be wrestling.
Who's that?
Mr. 485.
Mr. 485.
PWI 485. He gonna be wrestling. They gonna be doing a big media scrum for especially black media. So
Crocs all day, every day, baby.
See, we don't talk about that part. That's the part that we don't discuss. But like I said, so
Crocs all day, every day, baby.
We're gonna be in the building for BCW. So but that's where you get a good cheesesteak from.
Hey, Byron, we gassing up the car, man.
Gas up the pace, Byron.
Might have to, man. I do wanna, one day either do play-by-play or do a ring announcement. So I'm gonna have to make that happen.
Ooh, okay.
I can see you and D on the mic for real.
I would love to, man. I want to get Michael Cole's job or something, man. They need to get
which one? Which one gonna be Michael Cole and which one gonna be Pat McAfee?
Matter of fact, we can get rid of Kevin Patrick. He's the worst announcer I've ever heard.
Stop it!
He's terrible.
Yo, come on.
Have you listened to this guy?
So look, terrible. I was watching my people's over at Women's Wrestling Talk today, right? Shout out to Kay McCoy, Gerard Boner, and the one and only Miss TK Trinidad, right? So they was talking about broadcasters, and I said Michael Cole over Jim Ross. And my argument is Jim Ross had a lot of hits in the Attitude Era. Like he had a lot of memorable calls, but Michael Cole had some calls too. I mean, we talked about CM Punk in 2011. When it was like 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, and everything, and then Vince had to come out there. You think about when Mark Henry won the championship. So Michael Cole, and I felt like Michael Cole transcends well. Now they were saying it might not be fair because Jim Ross been doing this over 40 years, and I don't think Michael Cole been in his prime for a while, but he also got us through the Attitude Era when Jim Ross was down with Bell's palsy.
I was
Yes, he
about to
did.
say, yeah. I was watching the old Raw, and Michael Cole and Jim Ross was doing commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, this is a young Michael Cole, like new to the game Michael Cole.
And
And the
97,
way,
96.
yeah, and the way he kind of just controlled the match, controlled the action, told the narrative. It was so much smoother than when JR explained it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, JR made a lot of mistakes. Messed up names.
And that's what
JR falling asleep during the broadcast.
Yeah, like right.
And it's like we know he's a legend. It's no disrespect.
No,
we never
absolutely.
take that away from him. But like Michael Cole, a lot, and now you seeing him go to a new level because he got Pat McAfee, but also because he don't have the Vince restrictions.
In
So
his ear.
yeah,
more personality.
Oh, yeah.
to him.
He's actually being human.
And don't forget, he's also had some of the best partners. I mean, I remember Michael Cole and Taz with SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. It's boss time.
Yes, like you said, he has some really good calls. And then, I mean, you can, like, the work that him and Pat McAfee do together it's like must-see TV. Like, it just fits. Like, I don't know, it's just something about SmackDown and it all coming together with, like I just, like, when you think about Raw, you think about JR, and when you think about SmackDown, I view it with Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And let's not forget, he took ass whoopings as well. Right.
That's
the
where you put in the Men in Black thing.
The Stone Cold one.
Yes, sir.
Who else beat his ass?
Wait, who? JR or Michael
Jerry
Cole?
Lawler beat his ass.
Michael Cole.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't talk about that WrestleMania match.
No.
Brian,
that was
my first WrestleMania.
I remember you. He had to make it up next year, but that's a story. That's a whole content story. We had to maybe make the people pay for that. 10 years, what was it? 11 years later.
Wow, we're about to get Top Dollar and Michael Cole kickoff show WrestleMania.
Oh man.
Yo,
top flopper.
Right?
Whoa. We ain't disrespecting the homie now.
Top flopper, top jobber. What else?
Wow.
Anything else, Brian?
Hey,
No.
Hey, Brian, you know it's bad when Michael Cole be cracking on you during the broadcast.
So every time though.
He got some heat waiting. He tweeted today. He said the diss track is already written. He's saving it.
You better leave.
Man, Hit Row get a hit victory because I mean even B-Fab didn't do well in the Royal Rumble.
She was better than because she was better than what expected. Come on.
Hey, look, when black folks start stuttering like that, that's when you know that.
Right. I was about to say she was in it.
Hey, Hugh. By the time you went to the bathroom and washed your hands, she was out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See, I ain't leave during the women's
By
Rumble.
the time you just washed your hands, she was out.
Right.
Right. You supposed to wash for 30 seconds. She was out in about 25.
Right.
Wow.
How can we keep up with y'all fellas, man?
I feel bad for
Let the people know how to keep up with y'all.
Right.
Hugh, you go first.
What's that?
Tell the people where they can find you.
Man, you can find me everywhere. What you know, man? Come on, You never know
want to find you.
You never know what. Hold on. You never know where I'm going to be. I just pop up and steal shows, baby. I'm the new Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, because your Dolph Ziggler ain't working.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, you can find me at HASTHE to the 3RD, or I'm at the Wrestling Realm Wednesday nights podcast with the Jack Daddy and the Realness, Mr. Dwayne Allen. Oh, bring him out. Actually,
got the guns out.
Hey man, look, I dropped 50 pounds, and so I feel good.
You look good, brother. You look good.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
But yeah, y'all make sure y'all
he ain't the sexiest me though. But go ahead.
Brian H. Waters on all social media platforms. Follow me on that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow Wrestling Realm at Wrestling Realm. Follow Ringer Wrestling. Make sure on Wednesdays you check me out. Well, Mondays I produce the Masked Man Show and sometimes hop on Wednesdays starting in the morning. Wednesday Worldwide with me, Cal, and Ben. And then at 7 o'clock, TWG Fan Club with Queen PR, Ciendall, and Justin Rich on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch exclusively. And then at 10:30 on the Wrestling Realms Twitch and YouTube channel, find that guy to the other side of me, Brother Hugh, and the real Dwayne Allen. Shout out to him. He out there doing great work for the people. But make sure y'all follow him at Dwayne Allen 24 as well. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And you know, I talk a lot of wrestling on Twitter.
And shout out to Brandon Guy as well. He be joining y'all sometime.
Yeah,
that
guy who gifted us with this great belt.
Yep, all this, the gold back to back, all courtesy of the guy.
Give it up for the Wrestling Realm.
Yes,
Hugh, Brian, Dwayne.
But I gotta say this, man. Look, congratulations to y'all, man.
Right,
over
man.
300 episodes, over 370 episodes. It ain't easy to do, man. You know, and y'all keep going. That's why I was like, I was like, I'm coming on. Y'all said we can come talk wrestling, and I had to give y'all the Royal Rumble experience first. So I appreciate y'all. You know, for always the invite. I always feel good when I come around. Can't wait till we can all link in person again.
Right.
last time me and Dre linked on a whim. It was a night for a Dre story. I'll just leave it at
what?
Yeah, that's why he was at Jimmy's.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna be there this week.
No, he was there. You was there this week? Oh no, he was that wrong. No. No, I wasn't there this week. I mean, I let Queen Mia go. I was like, she can go by herself. She good. But I'll be the next AEW pay-per-view. I'll be there.
Okay. Not even Elimination Chamber?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Elimination Chamber. I don't think they're gonna watch. I don't think they're gonna even show Elimination Chamber there. Sometimes they don't show the WWE pay-per-views there.
Yeah.
What?
It depends.
Like it depends on which pay-per-view it is.
Okay.
Like all the AEW stuff, they show it because it's like few and far between.
Yeah.
Have y'all been to the new Loafers?
Yes.
They showing wrestling?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
No, hey, look.
They had some good burgers.
Might have an announcement about the new Loafers coming up soon.
Bring it back, man.
Oh Lord, I don't even want to know, man. Is it involving Flex Zone or it just involves Dre?
Just Dre.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
That's where it's gonna go down at? What we've been waiting for?
That's one of them infamous stories.
Well, I'll keep y'all posted.
He about to get his own Netflix special. I'm gonna just leave it at
that. I thought he was doing a live show or something.
They giving everybody shows on Tubi.
Just Dre.
But the editing is terrible.
Not all of it. You know who got a good show on Tubi? Cameron, aka Ariana Andrew. She got a movie on there.
Man, he love that girl.
Or the wrestler.
Your point? Yeah. Hey, I watched it.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
He said I watched it. I watched it 10 times.
Whatever.
Like, big butter popcorn and everything.
All right. Appreciate y'all, fellas. Brian, get some rest. Brother. I know you're the hardest working man in the industry. Give it up for you, Brian. One more time.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all, fellas. Appreciate
y'all. Harassing y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
I'm out.
All right, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate that. Give it up once again for the rest.
One more time.
Oh man.
Much love to those good brothers. It's always great talking wrestling with them. Let's get to the AFC and NFC Championship game. Unless you guys got anything else you want to touch on with the Rumble, you good?
Nah.
I don't got nothing else for the Rumble.
NFC Championship game. Eagles pretty much blew past the 49ers. Brock Purdy looks like he's going to be out for a while. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. Eagles have flown by everybody, 31-7. Let's talk about the NFC Championship game first. Raj, your thoughts, man? It was pretty much hammer time from the word go.
As you can see, we got a Chief fan in the building. Our guy Jugs is in the building. What's going on, Juggernaut? What's going on, brother? We'll get to your team in a little bit, but let me just say this. Man. I don't know how the Eagles is doing it. How they had the easiest path to get to the Super Bowl.
It was not the easiest path,
bro. Now we're not gonna sit here and do this. We're gonna keep it real, like you said. We're gonna keep it funky. This is the easiest path I've ever seen a team get to the Super Bowl. They literally had no competition. The Giants were pish posh. This is the division rival. I don't give a damn what it was. It was not. They was whooping them from the first quarter on. So that it wasn't even a game after the first quarter. And in this game, they get left off because Brock Purdy gets an elbow injury, so he can't even throw the football. And then they get Josh Johnson to come in the game, and he gets a head injury. So it's like they can't throw the football. They're one-dimensional. It's like you're supposed to win these games. You're supposed to get to the Super Bowl if the quarterback can't throw the damn football. So I want to say this is the easiest path they have that they got into the Super Bowl, and congrats to them. I'm happy for the Eagles. I wanted them to make the Super Bowl, but I just thought that their path was easy. It really was. They really had no competition.
Man, it's old school Philadelphia football back in the day when McNabb was playing, when you had B-Dog out there knocking the snot out of people. That's what Philadelphia, that's what they doing right now. They over there putting them boys to work. They laying that hammer down. They ready to get this work. That's what them boys is doing. They putting in that work.
I hope they putting in that work because they're gonna fight. They're gonna play a real team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they go. What they gonna do is they gonna knock off the tribal chiefs. That's what they gonna do.
Oh, we'll see. I mean,
we'll save our predictions for next week.
When I was there amongst the Philadelphians, they were talking. They said they blue collar around here. They said they don't know nothing about no work over there.
Oh, and you see, you still in that mindset where you was at that bar with the little Eagles fans. I got you. I got it. But
was that bar here or was it in Philly?
No, it was actually here in Baltimore, man. Believe it or not,
they have a Philly bar. Okay. Don't ask me why.
I know,
but congratulations to the Eagles. They had a phenomenal year so far. They made the Super Bowl. They got a lot of talent on that offensive side, and the defense is nothing to sneeze at. So, shout out to Philly, man. They
hey, yo, Paul.
Yeah, you fired up. Hey, but it is what it is, man. So, I mean, the 49ers.
Share the video with you, man.
If they could find a quarterback that can just stay healthy, man, they would have had a shot to win this game. And
Tom Brady might end up there.
He could. I mean, but
poor Kyle Shanahan, man.
I just felt bad for them because it felt like they didn't have a chance after the first quarter because of the Purdy injury, and they just got beat down. So it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, you saw B-Dog was there yesterday. They needed that old Madden hit stick. That's what happened to them.
So you drinking that green Kool-Aid, ain't you, Dre? You eating that cheesesteak.
He is. Clearly.
Look, I'm gonna keep it funky fresh because this is the flex zone. I want Philadelphia to win so I can go to the damn parade. That's what I'm gonna keep it under. I want to go to the parade. I want to eat some good food, get some cheesesteaks, and then head back home.
You gonna borrow somebody's jersey and put it on?
Nah, I'm gonna dust off the old Eagles hoodie that I got, and
then you're gonna act like you're an Eagles fan. I got you.
No, I'll keep it fresh though. I tell every Eagles fan yesterday when I was where I was at, and anytime somebody asked me about my connection with Philadelphia, I was there with Reed and McNabb. I hopped off when McNabb left, and that's where I ended it with Philadelphia. I went to the home team. They were asking me several times yesterday. They were like, "You can come back, brother. This is the city of brotherly love. We'll welcome you back." And I was like, Nah, I appreciate it though. But I'm gonna stick to the hometown. I love Ravens Nation where we at, big trust. But yes, I'm rooting for Philadelphia to win this. I think yesterday was just a game of they just knocked the snot out of them. I think B-Dog got them fired up because they was laying the hammer down on them boys yesterday with them hits. And like you said, it was hammer from the jump. They didn't want none. As AJ Styles would say, they don't want none. That's what happened.
A lot of storylines going into the Super Bowl that we'll talk more about. But we saw the tribal
wait till we
chief
get to
in
this
action.
AFC Championship.
We saw the tribal chief in action, one leg and all, get the costly penalty by Joseph Asai, the Bengals, 15 yards. Kind of a goofy play if you think about it. He was playing his ass off, but you can't make that play because you know he's going to get that call. Adds 15 yards. Harrison Butker, game-winning field goal. Joe Burrow throws 2 interceptions. Joe Burrow actually didn't play his best game. Neither did Jalen Hurts, by the way. But Joe Burrow not playing his best game. Cincinnati's lack of inability to run the football when he had the ball and a chance to take the lead. Rod, you doing a Bearman hand rub. How you feeling about that, man? Chiefs win 23-20.
Oh man, I wanted this to happen so much, man. I did not want to see the Bengals back in the Super Bowl again. Eli Apple made himself look like a fool on Twitter, always running his mouth. The mayor at Cincinnati talking about instead of Arrowhead, this is Barrowhead or whatever nonsense he was spewing. And then they
Wow.
went out there and then they committed an act that it's hilarious to me. They screwed they screwed their own self up because Kansas City was down like with two wide receivers. Patrick Mahomes was out there limping around, trying not to get hit. And you could just tell that this game was meant for Cincinnati to win, but they just came up short. And the funny thing is, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But I want to say this, man. Shout out to Kansas City, man. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes and them boys. They was able to overcome a lot of things, and they did a lot of good things that I thought was going to be,
We lost
they
him.
did. No, I'm
We,
good. They
we,
did a lot. They did a
we,
lot
we
of.
lost him because he was talking that old bull job about the
Nah,
damn tribal chiefs.
no, I'm not talking no trash about the
Talking
tribe.
that bull job.
No, I'm not. I'm just happy, man. I am because the Kansas City deserved to win. There was a lot of trash talking by the Bengals, and it was a close game. Like you said, Joe Burrow threw a couple picks, and he didn't play his best game. And I think Tyler Boyd got hurt in the mid part of the game as well. The run game was terrible. Joe Mixon got to do a better job, man, and they got to do a better job, getting open. But unlike the week before, when the pass rush of the Bills couldn't get to Joe Burrow, the pass rush of the Chiefs did, and I think what's his name,
Chris
Chris Jones.
Jones.
Chris Jones had a key sack
Yeah, he
that
made the play of the game.
made the play of the game to save the Chiefs season. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes gets the ball back. He goes out of bounds. And, the defender hits him out of bounds. So that's a 15-yard penalty. They win the game. And off to the Super Bowl they go. But the game could have went either way. Both teams play hard. But yeah, man, it was a good game to watch. But the Chiefs came up short. So, I mean, not the Chiefs, but the Bengals came up short. And they did a lot of talking, a lot of crying during the season about home field advantage and all this other nonsense, and they got left in the dirt.
Go ahead, Trey. How you feeling?
I need you to pull up that comment from Mark about the offense. Pull it up, brother. No, go a little further. The offense. Yes, that one. Because it wasn't the goddamn offense. It was that was goofy. Now my brother isn't here to do Goofy of the Week. That was the Goofy of the Week. If y'all want a Goofy of the Week segment, that was the goofiest thing I ever seen in the history of all of football. What in the world could be wrong with you? Sitting over there hit Patrick Mahomes after he was already out of bounds. I was like, what were you doing? Bro, I had money on the line. I was like, oh, we about to Byron, you in the chat with us? I was like, yo, I said, bet. I said, easy 50? What? All right, I'll do it. We about to go to overtime. I was like, all right, this is cool. And then just the asinine play. I mean, that was ASA 100. I just, why would you, knowing the things that happen in this league, especially hitting somebody like Patrick Mahomes, he's clearly out of bounds. You hit him and then you hurt yourself like a dumbass. You sit over there and cry on the sideline like a bitch. You getting yelled at by your teammates because you know you done screwed up. As a matter of fact, I know we say this all the time, but I would have let him get on the plane. I would have took his jersey right then and there. I would have like just hand me your jersey right now and find your own damn way home. Because why the hell would you do that? That was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my entire life. I was like, what?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That was more dumb than Chris Webber in the finals. Like I just don't understand. I just I was just like, why? Why would you do that? You know you can't. You have to play mistake-free football. You know if you give Joe Beasy the ball again, he's going to be able to take it down the field. And you just like a dum dum want to sit over there and hit. And you, I couldn't believe he started crying.
But to
I was
be
like,
honest with
what are you crying for?
to be
What are you
honest with you,
crying for?
it was a lot of bad calls in that game. Okay, I mean the
No
Bengals got a lot of
goddamn
bad
bad
calls.
calls.
The Bengals got a lot of
We
bad
messed
calls.
up. Want to cry? Grown man crying over there. You messed up. That's what happened.
Yeah, they
You
did miss a
cost
few
us this
blocking the
game.
backs on that punt return. I think it was a couple of that punt return had about 3 or 4 blocks in the back. A couple false starts, some holding calls, pass interference.
Right.
You know,
I remember it was one play where they completed the play. They got a first down, but they called it back, and they said it was roughing the passer or something like that. So they got
Yeah.
it was just a bunch of silly calls that was in that game.
like I just really couldn't believe that he cost them the a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Like that's just. I hope he doesn't come back next year.
I mean,
That's
we
what I would
seen.
say.
I mean, let's be real. We seen this here like maybe what in 2000 and I think 2008 when we had like a similar penalty with Frank Walker when he hit the dude in the back, and then the Steelers got the field goal to win. I mean, we've seen this before. This is not the first time that we've seen this in the
No,
league.
but this dum dum, like I said, you hurt yourself, and then you not and after you hurt yourself, then you want to go to the sideline and cry for what?
Because you
You messed
lost.
up.
That's why you
Cut.
lost.
You know what?
And
Cut
he's
him
the
now.
reason why they lost.
He should have been cut right then and there on the
He
spot.
probably is going to get cut. He probably cut right now.
Good. His
Hey,
ass don't need to come back.
he was playing his butt off.
I don't
Ravens
give a
want to pick him
damn.
up. Ravens want to pick him up. Need another guy.
Hell no,
the
the Ravens don't
do
need
not.
to pick up that.
No, he don't
And
need
it
to pick
cost
up.
us a game. No.
Yeah. Oh, Ossie, that's his name. Let's remember that now.
Joseph
And then
Osai.
and look, I don't
Osai.
want to hear it when people talking about momentum because look at him. He could have helped. He could have pushed back.
Nah.
You throw your hands up, do something. You sit over there. He wanted to hit Patrick Mahomes, thinking that this is it. Instead, like a dum dum, got hurt, then want to cry.
Hey man, Pat Mahomes played his butt off, man. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Pat Mahomes. He did his thing.
He did play it. The tribal chief, he showed up. So you know what, and you know what, I was perfect until that moment. But you know what, it makes sense why this Super Bowl is the way that it is, and it's something that I didn't think about.
Wait a minute, hold on. So do you actually pick the Bengals to win?
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're tied again.
This is the only time.
Yeah, we're tied again. No, we're tied because you lost, and I picked the Chiefs and I picked the Eagles, so we're tied again.
No, but wait a minute. I gotta go back.
Yeah, go back.
We might have to do some prop bets for the Super Bowl to break this tie. So we'll God's favor also think of something.
I mean, probably picking the same team though.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting. So we'll do some prop bets to break the tie and see what happens.
I couldn't believe that. So, but nevertheless, you know what? Hats off to the tribal chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is showing us why he is the tribal chief, and it's a lot of the storylines are better, I'll admit, for the Andy Reid Bowl, Kelsey Bowl, whatever you want to call it, than the Bengals and the Eagles. I didn't think about all the extra dynamics involved in it, so it makes sense why I probably should have picked the Chiefs to win this game over the Bengals.
Also, first Super Bowl between two black starting quarterbacks. So that is going to be a storyline, as you mentioned, the Kelsey Bowl, the Eagles' great run game against the Chiefs' defense, Patrick Mahomes against the number one defense in the NFL outside of San Francisco. Also, they're the first team since the 2000 Ravens to allow single-digit points in the postseason in back-to-back games. So their defense is dominant. They're number one in sacks. Mahomes is still hurt, but they're saying his injury is good. He's down some receivers who might not play. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting Super Bowl.
Man, let me throw this interesting stat. They said passing yard leader versus the number one passing defense in Super Bowls all time. You got the Raiders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you had the Broncos versus the Seahawks. And you saw in both of those games, they got annihilated They said the number one defense won by an average of 31 points. We're about to have the same thing with the Chiefs and the Eagles. So I'm curious about what Vegas says with that point spread.
Right now, I think the Eagles are 2.5 points, so I might put some money on Kansas City personally, just because. But I can see this being a close game. Definitely
I can see it being a close game too, especially. And the funny thing is, Andy Reid coached both of these teams to the Super Bowl, so
Yep.
it's going to be.
I'm so
Andy
mad
Reid
about.
Bowl.
I'm so mad about Hassan Riddick.
Yeah.
I wanted the Ravens to sign him last year in free agency. I think he only signed like a 2-year deal. Oh my gosh.
Now
he came up big, man. For
now
Chief.
one storyline I heard out there was that
I'm sorry,
Andy Reid could coach the Chiefs to try to win the Super Bowl and then retire because he's done beating the Eagles. So that's one storyline that's out there right now that people put out there. Andy Reid's retirement.
And his offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, interviewed for the Ravens as well. Can't forget that.
Yes.
Oh, he did? He already interviewed?
I think he is going to interview if he hasn't already. I think it's coming up probably this week while they're off, because during the Super Bowl week he won't be able to interview, I believe.
Right.
So they did.
Look, hey, bring Eric Bieniemy here. Yes.
And Mark, where you at, brother? He's also in potential to be the Colts starting, not Colts, but Colts head coach. And it looks like D'Amico Ryans is going to Houston. So San Francisco's D coordinator going back to where he played, D'Amico Ryans, to coach Houston with the number one pick. So he'll get his number one pick, probably his quarterback. You got your quarterback and coach in Houston. So another black quarterback.
They just hired. I think
he's going to. He didn't want the Denver job. He said he don't want Denver job. Turn him down. Looks like Houston is where he'll be. So we might get that news this week as well. A lot of head coaching jobs probably will be filled this week. A lot of coordinator spots still open. So we'll see what the Ravens do. I think the Ravens are going to take their sweet time. So don't hold your breath.
Well, they got to make it. We just.
I think they need to wait till after the Super Bowl because they need to interview some people from Philly and Kansas City. If it's not Bieniemy, maybe some other guys that got on the staff or in Philly.
Definitely Philly. But we got the cap news, so the cap went up $16 million. So that's wonderful news for us and a lot of other NFL franchises that are in cap hell right now.
Hey, pay Lamar, get a receiver in there, pass rusher, buff up that secondary a little bit. Yeah, boy.
Hey, man, I hope Eric Bieniemy gets a coaching job. I know the Ravens interviewed him, but he deserves to be a head coach, man. Some of these other goofies who have no experience or failed in college or failed in the NFL getting jobs over him is ridiculous, man. I don't care. They saying he didn't call plays. You've been around Andy Reid. Something had to rub off on you. Can't be no worse than some of these bumps.
Exactly.
Well, let's get to the NBA. All-Star starters were announced last week, and we'll get the reserves this week. In the West, don't forget this year they will pick the teams before the game. So old schoolyard.
I'm about to say feels like a pickup game.
Yes, in the East we got Durant 13 time, Kyrie 8 time. Boy, the Brooklyn Nets look good lately. Also, Giannis 7 time. He's the captain. Donovan Mitchell 4-time All-Star. He's starting. Jason Tatum 4-time All-Star in the East. Luka 4 times in the West. Steph Curry 9 time. Steph just passed Wilt for most field goals in Warrior history. Zion Williamson starting 2-time All-Star. Jokic, the Joker, back-to-back MVP 5-time. And LeBron James, 19th time as an All-Star. Ties Kareem for most all-time. Only 117 points behind him, and he's the captain of the East. Dre, how you feeling, brother?
I'm curious to see how this really goes because, like you said, it's like basically old school pickup game. Like them choosing who's going to be on the team right then and there, as opposed to having that special on TNT with Barkley and the crew. But I'm curious to see how this one plays out. I do like the NBA for at least trying to keep being renovated with their ideas and what they want to do with the All-Star game. So I thought usually it's either does it just flip flop between Durant and Giannis, or is it just for
the last couple years it's been Giannis though. Like the last 3 years it's been about Giannis
for the East. Yeah, of course, GOAT James in the West, but. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I think the NBA for the most part has been able to make a lot of adjustments, and they've done a good job with their All-Star weekend. The celebrity game, the skills challenge, the game itself. I think the only thing they still got to tweak though is the dunk contest. Once they can figure out how to revamp the dunk contest, I feel like after that, I think the sky's the limit again for the NBA, but I think that I'm really curious, like I said, to see how this all goes with this pickup game type of situation.
Go ahead, Raj.
I just think that I also want to see what the rest of the team looks like on both squads. I want to see if AD gets in. I want to see who else gets. That's Joel Embiid. I think deserves to be a starter with the season he's having. And I just want to see who else gets in. Honestly, I know LeBron being the captain is great. Giannis being a captain is great as well. Um, but the change them picking players before the game starts is a nice added touch. I like that part of it. It's a little different. You know what I'm saying? You're not knowing. I think 3 weeks before you're gonna know that exact date, which is awesome to see. So I like that aspect of it. I kind of want to know who's in the dunk contest this year because the dunk contest was trash last year. The 3-point contest has always been pretty good.
Well, you do have Elimination Chamber the same night, so we'll be live for that.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That's Saturday, and then All-Star Game is Sunday. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're not on the same day.
Yeah, it's just a Saturday night, and Elimination Chamber's that Saturday, then All-Star Game's that Sunday. So,
okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. I mean, that's fine. So we'll be live. Probably we're doing WWE, but we'll probably be watching the NBA as well. Doing a little bit of both. So yeah, I do want to see the dunk contest. But
we'll
man,
put that in the title. We'll have both watched. We'll be watching both.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, I like all the starters that that are announced for start. To start. The fans get to pick the starters, so that's a good thing. But we'll see who makes it in. Who the rest of who the reserves are. We'll see who the reserves are, and hopefully we get a good crop of reserves from the coaches or whoever the coaches deem to be good reserves going down the stretch. But I'm looking forward to this All-Star game. I'm looking forward to the dunk contest. Looking forward to the 3-point. I think also last year we had like the documentary of the TNT. Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck and
Ernie.
And Ernie. Yeah, we had that great documentary, and I thought that was awesome. So let's see what they do this year. Maybe they might have some type of follow up to that. Maybe we have like another, I don't know, player versus player talking to each other like they did with Shaq and Kobe and Magic and Isaiah. Maybe we have, or Gary and Sean Kemp. Maybe we have something like that again going down the stretch. But there's a lot of possibilities, for this time of the year. This is the bread and butter of the NBA. This is their magnum opus, to celebrate the players and the fans, and this is a good time. So we'll see what happens around mid February.
Yes, trade deadline is actually 1 week from this coming Thursday, February 9th. That leads into All-Star Week, All-Star Weekend. And LeBron looks like his ankle is not getting better, so the chase for Kareem is on hold for now. 117 points behind.
He'll get it.
Trey? You get it?
He'll get it. No worries. And you know what tomorrow is.
What's tomorrow, Trey?
Taco Tuesday, right?
There you go, Raj. Taco Tuesday!
I'm pretty sure Savannah will be. Never mind. Let me just stop. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Nope. I'm a changed man. To a certain extent.
Well, that's pretty much all we got, right, fellas?
That's all she wrote.
Well,
like I said, we already had our goofy.
Let me say this one thing, man. I want to shout out to my mom, to my Mergenthaler alumni, and my the people that mean the most to me. Our coach, our track coach, Freddie Hendricks, passed away last week, so I just want to give a shout out to his family, and the track family. I went to Mervo earlier today with the track family. We walked the track in his honor and took a picture today, and You know, it brought back a lot of memories of why I got into sports in general, and it almost brought a tear to my eye, man. So shout out to Freddie Hendricks, Coach Freddie Hendricks, man. He was a mentor to a lot of the youth, um, and he made a lot of impact in the city of Baltimore. And we're going to miss him dearly, especially in the track and field world. He was an awesome, awesome dude. So glad I was coached by him, and so glad I was able to to be able to be around the man and know the man, and present day. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's in the Merville track family, and shout out to everybody else that was able to learn a lot of things around that time as well. So that's all I got.
You know what? Let's do a moment of
Quick moment of
silence.
silence. Quick moment of silence for the dearly departed. May he rest in peace. Definitely gone too soon. Drizzy Dre next week. We're talking Super Bowl,
Yes,
but
sir.
it is the beginning of Black History Month, and the Sports and Blackness series is on its way back. Correct?
Correct. Yes, we got plenty of great guests. I think that everybody will enjoy the conversation, especially with the things that have transpired. So February is going to be a great month for the Flex Zone. And
Episode 3 streaming
we got
now.
the Bullies of Baltimore also coming up on Sunday.
Oh, that
Oh
is
yeah,
this week.
yeah, we can
Okay.
recap that as well.
Yeah, it will be a football heavy show. We'll talk about that and preview everything Super Bowl, give our predictions and MVP and props and all that good stuff. Big shout again to Cravante. Hopefully, safe travels. I know he's on his way back from the West Coast. Shout out to Omar and CJ who traveled with him. May they arrive safely to their destinations as well. Drizzy Dre, how can I start that day with a cup of Dre on WEAA, my brother?
Hey, look, if you're looking for good music and looking for a good time, man, your boy, tune in 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then right here on the Flex Zone, 10 p.m. every Monday. Catch me.
Big Raj, let the people know what to do to keep up with us on the YouTube.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like good content, you're gonna love the Flex Zone podcast because we give it to you raw sometimes and straightforward. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got all kinds of things for you. Like I said before, wrestling, um, NBA, NFL, baseball, MLB. We do it all on the Flex Zone podcast. And
Yes.
got a lot of things coming up this week as well. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday.
Maybe an Orioles video if they get goofy on Wednesday.
Maybe an Orioles video if they don't sign that damn lease. And
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
we'll have
Ravens something.
Yeah, maybe some Ravens news. We'll stay tuned with that and some other things. So just stay tuned. Hit the bell. They'll let you know when we post a video or a short or whatever.
Rashawn, I know you was in the chat. We're gonna reach out to you, get you on the show, brother. Definitely got to recap the season that was for the Ravens and your Cowboys and your travel chronicles. Rashawn, I think, has hit like what 30 stadiums, Raj? He's hit almost every stadium
I
in the
think he's
NFL.
been.
Wow.
I think he's
Yeah.
been everywhere, literally.
Yeah,
So
I think if he hasn't been to all, he's been to all for like except maybe one or two. So he went to Levi. He was just at Levi Stadium. He was out there. He was in Tampa. He was in
Yep.
SoFi. He was
Yep.
everywhere. He was in Foxborough for the Ravens.
He was in
is
New
everywhere.
Orleans too.
Yes, he was in New Orleans, Jacksonville. So shout out to Rashawn. We got to get him on the show. Another Mergenthal alumni, great, along with D, Mark, and Big Raj as well. Only place, fellas, give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Again, episode 379 as we inch closer to 400 episodes. Start of the Sports and Blackness and 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. So we'll talk about that as well. And of course, the Flex on One on Twitter and Instagram, Flex on Podcast on the TikTok. Shout out to the right hand man, the Big Oos, Dre's cousin Lamar, for helping us out on TikTok. The Flex on One on Cash App. And of course, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. And as always, let us know what you want to see from us on the channel. Guest ideas, want to be part of it. flexon1@gmail.com. Dre, executive producer, senior producer, Cravante Hurd, associate producer, yours truly, social media producer, Big Raj. Once again, big shout out to Brian and Hugh. Follow and subscribe to the Wrestling Realm. Shout out to those fellas. Wednesdays, 10:30. You can check them out live. They'll be back as always. For Raj, for Dre, and Cravante on his way back to the East Coast. God's favorite host signing off for the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 378. Throw your ones up and acknowledge the bloodline of the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas. One more time.
When you need it.
Have a great night. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Vote on the poll. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. We gone. Peace.
Peace.